What are we talking about, bro? Are we talking about red flags in a relationship?
Red flags when dating.
Okay, guys, so today we're gonna be talking about red flags in a relationship.
No.
Red flags talking, because apparently it seems like we talk to a lot of people. So let's talk about the definition of talking before we actually get into the red flag. So what is your definition of talking?
Two people interested in one another.
Bro, why do you talk like that when you get on camera, bro?
That's how I talk on the phone too. This is how I talk. Nah, cause like I speak slow when I
try to get hella intelligent, like
no, it's just
people. Like your voice get hella soft.
I have to because that's the way I speed up the way I talk.
Don't change who you are, bro. Be you. I don't want to do this shit no more. I don't need this shit in my life. I quit. Drops the mic.
Two people talking to each other means two people interested in one another and willing to sacrifice time, sometimes money.
Oh, in the talking stage, we sacrificing money? Okay, yeah, maybe I'll take you on a few dates, maybe. Depending on how good of a person.
You're texting more frequent.
A lot. If that's your game, if you text.
Yeah, that's true. Or in person. I mean, nowadays, that's what it is. It's not like when our parents met, you know, they can't page a whole fucking conversation, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, you never know. That might be you. You might be more text sound, or you might be more in person. But two people that are willing to sacrifice time and semi-commit to each other. I don't fucking know. That's the thing.
Commitment already?
Talking. We should talk about talking.
How do you know you're talking to somebody and with plans on moving on forward with that person? That's the question.
This is fucking hard question. You gonna expose all my game. If I'm interested in someone, I'm taking more time out the day to reply to text.
You sound like you're saying two like it's spelled T-E-W.
You playing around too much. Fuck! To reply, I mean, not even just text, but you'll know when I'm interested. I mean, but it's like
that's not the question. I'm asking you to tell the people, tell the folks, what is your definition of talking? How do you know you're talking to somebody? How do you let that person know that y'all talking? Because it's not just said we're talking. How do you let that person know? It ain't.
I feel like you don't know you're talking until after you're done talking.
No, you do know you're talking.
No.
You're not just walking around here just so you talk. So that means you must be a real deal player, and you talking about 15 different females.
See, look, that's probably what they think. Okay, now
that's the way you're making it seem. Cause you're not giving a definition. Give them a definition. Make them feel special.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be hitting them with some cute shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like.
But I didn't ask you what you was doing while you're talking. How do you let somebody know? Talking stage. What is the definition?
I feel like that's not discussed.
It's not. It's not discussed.
I feel like it's not discussed.
Wow.
I feel like that's not something. So we talking.
So you must have some fucked up situations in.
No. Let me hear what you gotta say.
So I feel like personally,
you might enlighten me. You might help me figure out what I've done in the past to let people know.
I feel like personally, when I'm talking to somebody, I'm gonna just be more of myself. When you're not talking to somebody, you kind of like be this perfect person. You try to be this perfect friend. But then when you talking to somebody, you become yourself. You do what you like to do, and you also keep in mind what they want to hear and what they like to do and shit like that. That's kind of the definition of talking, because I'm making time for you. I'm giving you that space that you didn't have before when we were just friends. In terms of telling anybody like, yo, we're talking, that's one of those things that you just, if you guys have good chemistry, you kind of just know. At the same time, you don't want to lead somebody on to the point of like, when you talking to, you might not, they think that y'all talking, but you not talking.
See, and I think that's a gray area for a lot of people.
You know, it's a gray area for yourself, because you're not like telling, you're not making it clear.
I mean, just because, like, I feel like I can read people well.
That's your problem.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't read people. You can read, I'm not saying you can't read people, but I'm saying like that's almost like reading a book. It's like judging a book before you read it.
Bruh. I know when somebody's interested, and I know when someone's not.
Okay, so if I wake up
and if I'm not getting enough signs that they're interested, I'm moving on. I ain't got time to fucking.
So when I wake up in the morning, you know, and y'all niggas walk like when y'all just walk right by, y'all don't say nothing to each other, y'all just wake up and go to class, what am I thinking? I'm thinking, oh, you must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something. But maybe you didn't. You just want to laugh.
But say, I'm saying for me. I'm saying for me. In that situation.
So what that Gatorade talking about? What is it thinking about right now? It's actually water, but what is that water thinking about? Well, I'm gonna tell you what it's thinking about. It's probably like, damn.
Why does broke ass nigga got water to think about?
Honestly, Phil, that's a good ass question. You got me stuck. He has me stuck. He has me pinned in the corner right now. He's throwing the elbows at me.
It's like a fucking boxing match.
He's just taking this shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Whole life flashing before my eyes. But shit, it's been so long. It's so long. Swing it. Maybe I assume too much. I always consider the way I feel, and I don't consider the way the other individual feels. I don't know.
Shut your bitch ass up!
But at the end of the day, I'm single. I don't give a fuck.
So now we talked about what talking is, because I feel like talking is just, it's a gray area stage regardless of who you are, regardless of your tactics. It's a gray area stage. Should I ask, are we talking? Is that weird, or is it like uncalled for?
I feel like middle school, high school, nah, it wasn't weird. It's like, yeah, you know, of course we're talking, you know what I'm saying? Or honestly, that's when people use that, you know, school, sports, I got a lot going on, family, that's when they use that excuse and they just break it to you nicely. But nowadays, it's like, I feel like people that get married, people that take the shit far, they know, you know what I'm saying? It's like, they're parallel in their thoughts, like, okay, it's like, certain actions speak, you know, words don't need to be said.
Okay, so let's bring a situation into effect. You're friends with a person, you guys are great friends, you end up doing stuff more than friendly kind of stuff, like y'all kind of click, you know, just do a little extra stuff. Now she thinks y'all talking. So are y'all not aligned, or she's acting off of your actions? That's your actions. Your actions are showing her that.
But then my actions will also speak later on when I distance myself.
But see, some people, the thing is, what I'm trying to say is like, it's easier for you to just approach the situation and just.
So how do you go about talking?
Well, for me and my situation,
I've been on the game for a minute. You know, you gotta put me on game, give me a little 411 on.
For my situation, I just feel like we knew where we was at. Like our alignment was like parallel. It was parallel. But I've been in situations.
Don't mind that stain right there, Key. Somehow edit that.
What stain?
That's not a stain.
Man, you worry about them. That's a shadow, bro.
No,
that's a shadow. Nah, but I feel like I've been in situations where I have had that gray area where I thought we were, me and the girl, I thought we were talking.
Yeah.
But apparently.
So how'd that go? Like, how did you find out you weren't?
When she said she didn't want to fuck with me no more. This is the thing, right?
Females.
I'm gonna speak from my situation. We did everything as a couple. We talked about being a couple, but we never really approached that situation because we were both in a gray area about it. But then when it got to a point where things got rough, in terms of us communicating with each other, in terms of us having distance in between us, that's when it just kind of broke off. And then it was like, okay, well, were we even talking the whole time? And then it was like, well, honestly, we were, but I just don't see myself with you anymore. It's kind of like, it'll leave you, like if you don't identify that talking stage or not talking, it'll leave you hurt. It'll leave some people hurt, and it'll create voids in them.
That's real.
So I just feel like it's easier just to talk. Just say like, I appreciate you as a person. I think, you know, we should move forward.
Going out on dates. Like, who's to say it's a date or not?